Okay. Well, I was losing motivation. And then I thought, well, I should just finish one area at a time. Get a good dopamine hit, you know? Like, because sometimes you just need that. So, I went and took my dog for a walk. And I was just going to focus on this slide out, and I was going to get my couch in here because for whatever reason, I'm fixated, hyper fixated on this fucking couch. I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why. It signals yumminess. And so, I then went to Home Depot. This is going to be painful. Okay, well, hold on a second there. So I went to Home Depot because I was like, okay, well, I need a sander, and I was gonna get paint, and I was gonna get a bunch of shit to just finish this area off. Fun fact, we had a windstorm that blew in last night here, and it took the power out at good old Home Depot. So I couldn't get the paint. And then when I was going to go get a sander, the only one that they had there was like, well, not the only one they had, but the Milwaukee one that they had there had like the battery charger. I need like a cup for these so I don't have to keep walking back and forth. Oh, that hurt my wrist. Let's see here. What do I got? Yeah, I'm gonna use that little thing. Ow. Jesus. Okay, you know you're getting old when your wrist does something funny. Anyway, so, ow. Okay. So the only orbital sander that Home Depot had in Milwaukee had like the battery charger and some batteries. I already have 4 batteries and I already have a battery charger. So I did not need to spend $300. Let's make this better. Yeah. I'm so smart. Okay, so, and because the power was out, their little painting things couldn't do the painting mixing because it's all computer generated and they were on backup power, which is fine. And so the universe told me that's not going to happen for you today, which is also fine. I can be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. But then I had to drive back out here. And that's when I realized I should remove the cabinets. Because why the fuck not? Right? Why settle for less than when you can have everything you want? Just might have to work at it a little bit longer. So, the name of the game today is prep for all the paints that's gonna happen. And I probably should make a list of the things I need to order. Okay, that one's like really in there. Goodness sakes, I'm gonna get a workout. My wrists are gonna get a workout. Who needs a gym? Well, I guess technically do because I'm fluffy. But that's also working out for me in a way. It may not seem like it, but I am losing weight. It is coming off. So, we're going to prep this area. And then hopefully, ooh, maybe I'll drive into Spokane and pick up an orbital sander. Because sometimes, one gripe I do have with Home Depot is that sometimes the shit, even though they say they'll ship it to the store, it just takes a while. And I don't understand that. Because the Coeur d'Alene Home Depot should be getting quite a few shipments. At least one a day, you'd think. Okay, well there's a reason why they use the drywall thingies. They're a pain in the ass. Oh, that's coming out of my pocket. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Wait, is it pig? I feel like it's pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Right? That's a saying. So I remember when I was 18, I was an older classmate in elementary school. I turned 18 in December of my senior year in high school. And I did not like living with my mother. We have a challenging bond, to say the least, which is fine. It is what it is. It'll either work itself out or it won't. Recently, she has decided she doesn't want to have a relationship with me, which is par for the course. Actually, it's probably an eagle. She definitely, it's a hole-in-one on that every single fucking time. Even though she says she hasn't done it before, she has. Well, okay. I mean, to be fair, it's possible that she's never actually said the words, I don't want a relationship with you, but she has done everything in her power. Oh, no, I gotta get those. To make it difficult to have a relationship with her. Now, to be fair to her, she thinks I have made it difficult. And maybe I have at times been reactive. I'm sidetracking. Okay, so the story is I moved out when I was 18, senior in high school. I was renting a room from this chick. Well, actually, I was just sleeping on the couch and hating them. But it was something. And I was still going to school. I did a work-study thing so that I got credit for having a job. I wonder if high schools still do that. They should. So I'm living there, and everything was fine until it wasn't. And to be fair, I wasn't the best human back then. I've made some mistakes, to say the least. And she had this, I don't know why she brought me on this date. She was a couple years older than me. She was living with her mom, so I, by proxy, was living with her and her mom. She met this guy who was in the Coast Guard. He was like a cook in the Coast Guard. Lame. He was cute. And he was definitely more interested in me than he was in her. And we met up. We didn't have sex or anything, but we kissed. And I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, she found out and kicked me out, which, rightly so. I do not fault her for that. But there was no way in hell I was going back to my mom's house. So, in my brilliance at 18 years old, decided I was going to chuck it in the fuck it bucket and I was going to leave. So I did. I packed all my shit up in my little white Geo Metro convertible that my mom had gotten me, but then made me pay $1,000 for it on my 18th birthday. She got me a fucking teddy bear. It said happy birthday and then said, I'll give you your car for $1,000. So I gave it to her. I gave her $1,000. And I packed that bitch up with whatever I owned at the time, which was not a lot. And I hit the road. I had no idea where I was going. But I had gotten a map. I had gotten a map of the U.S. from, I think, my aunt. I think it was my aunt. I had gotten a map of the U.S. from my aunt. And I used that map. And I started driving. Now, I didn't have as much imagination as I do now. Because, 18-year-old and all.